Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is City to City Podcast, powered by Move. I'm your host, Julian Mitchell. I'm here with LA Clippers forward Tobias Harris. What's going on, Tobias?
I'm chilling. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm chilling. So we're actually here in Long Island. We're not even in LA right now. You know, on the other side of the country. And you obviously playing basketball. You moved around since you've been in the league and now being in LA. You know, tell people what it's really like in terms of the lifestyle of traveling in the NBA, because I think people see you travel to different cities to play every night. You may be from a different city than where you play. So what's the reality of traveling in the NBA?
Yeah, I mean, overall, it's cool to be in different cities, different places, and get to experience different things, see different atmospheres and things like that. So, as a player, I mean, I like to travel, be in different areas, you know, experience different restaurants, different arenas, things like that. But the travel is tough. I mean, it's a long season. We're playing half the games on the road, so there's a lot of trips that we're going. When I was in the East Coast, we're going to the West Coast for like 10, 12 days, playing, 5 teams, something like that. So all that stuff adds up. But other than that, I mean, it's pretty good. You're on a chartered plane and things like that. You're in the best hotel, so it's cool.
Right. So obviously, too, in college, you played in Tennessee. You traveled a lot in college, and of course, you travel a lot in the NBA. What was the biggest transition for you going from college to the pros?
Well, on the court wise, was just the speed of the game. I mean, in college, you're playing at a different pace. You're playing different type of offensive system and defensive system. And then when you get to the league, you're playing more of the NBA is an up-tempo game, and especially the way the game is now, it's everybody's flying out, especially in the West Coast. A lot of teams are more up pace. But that and the physicality level of the game is a lot higher at that level. But for me, it was an adjustment where I just had to stay patient and be ready for my opportunity, and when that did come, take advantage of it.
Right. And then you talked about that too, the pace of the game being faster, the competition level being higher. Obviously that requires a higher level of focus and discipline for you. So when you talked about the off the court, right, like the moving and traveling and being in different places, what allows you to stay focused while you still have to handle life and still move, in that space?
For me, it's just, understanding what's most important to me. And that's, my production on the floor. That's being the best teammate that I can be and just focusing on winning. So for myself individually, like going to different cities, I'm just worried about what can I do to get ready for tomorrow's game? What can I do to help better our team? And, I look long picture of where I see myself as a player, where I see myself, the goals that I have, not only individually, but as team-wise of what I want to accomplish in the league. So those are always driving me to be able to not get too caught up in what's going on, but also more in the space of and in the realm of where I'm at and how I'm going to better myself for the next day.
What's the reality? Because I feel like a lot of people may not understand when they see a player maybe from a city or their family lives in a city, they may play in a completely different city, and then you're also traveling. Like, paint the real picture of what it's like in terms of where a player may live versus where they play and how they travel.
Well, every player is different, but at the same time, I mean, I know different players in different cities. I'm from New York, Long Island area, and I was playing in Milwaukee, my early stages in my career. So being away from the family, at times it could be tough, but you're occupied with a lot, which is getting yourself ready in the gym every single day. And your focus is basketball. That's all it is. When you come out of college, it's a change in the game of going to school, study, all things like that, to just going and playing basketball and using that as your day job.
Was it difficult for you to move and change completely different teams in different cities? Like, how challenging was that for you?
Yeah, it's challenging. I mean, like many people don't understand when you get traded. It's just like, okay, well, hey, we got rid of so-and-so, like he's on a different team. But, I literally got traded at I remember getting called around 5 o'clock, and I was on the plane to LA at 6 in the morning. So that was yeah, when I got traded from Orlando, it was pretty much the same thing. I was traded like in the mid-afternoon and straight on a plane. So, like, I've been traded before. I mean, being traded is not like during the time, it's not the best feeling because you're like, dang, like, I know for somebody like myself, I invest a lot of where I'm at. Like, I'm loyal to the situation I'm in, my teammates, the city, everything. So to be traded is kind of like, you know, it's you know, you feel a little hurt inside.
Right.
But, you know, I look at it as it's just God's plan of what's going to happen. Just be ready for the next situation. But when I was in Detroit, the whole house that I had, I was staying in, is like, you know, I just packed like 2 bags and was off and running. My mom and my dad, they come and they clean my whole house out and things like that and move everything to where I'm going. But you pretty much just drop everything and get on the plane and keep it moving.
Yeah, like how do you manage that? Like you said, your mom and dad just come in because you got to be on a plane the next morning. Like, how do you handle that in each city, the actual process of moving your whole life to the next place?
Yeah, for me, like I have a really good support system of people around me that are able to they understand what's at task and what's going on. And like for me in my career, they understand like my goals and what I'm trying to accomplish. So they, like my mom, my older brother, my father, done an amazing job of just, when things like that happen, being able to just say, look, we're handling it. Just play basketball. We'll have everything all set up for you. And like, that's it. Like, don't worry about nothing but the court. So, you know, when I got traded, my mom was just like, because when I was talking to her, I was getting a call from, you know, Stan Van Gundy at the time. And I was like, I got to take this call. Like, I'm about to get traded. And because I already knew, like, when you get that call, that's when you know.
Right.
And she was just like, all right. She was like, okay, I'm going to get the next flight in the morning to get everything ready then, you know? So, like, yeah, it's like we've been there before, but at the same time, like, it doesn't hit you until, like, you really, after that call, you're trying to figure some things out. But my family's done a great job being able to just, like, keep me focused on what's at task and what's right in front of us.
Right. And what have been the keys for you to making transitions just for yourself personally, like going into new environments and new cities? Because the same way you get a phone call, you got to go right into living life in that city and meeting teammates and meeting different people and going right into playing in a lot of cases. What have been your keys to making those transitions?
I always put the love of the game first in everything. So, you know, I love to play this game. I've been blessed with the opportunity to play the game. So, you know, any new situation I go into, I try to feel it out, see what the team needs, correspond with the coaching staff and the players. I do a lot of research on, you know, since I play in the NBA, like every team, I know that team well. So I've been traded on teams where I understand what the team is missing, what they need to kind of help to make them better. So for me, it's just going in there and just playing for the love of the game and playing hard and not worrying about anything else but going out and helping the team win. And I've done that in all the trades that I've been in, and it's worked successful for me. And I hope I don't get traded, you know, that's what I'm saying.
How is your view of success or what you valued from when you first were, or when you were at Tennessee, coming into the league, to you being in the league, being a veteran now, like having success in the league? How has your viewpoint of that evolved?
Yeah, I mean, I you know, as a high school kid and as a young player coming in the league, I had success, you know, it was, to me, was always getting to the NBA. I had this vision that would always make me feel successful. Being able to be in the league, being able to do nice things for my family, do nice things for myself and things like that. And then as I got to the league, like every year I've been able to grow my game and better myself and try to, you know, be better than the past year in many different areas. But I think, you know, success is the way that you look at yourself and discover inside yourself, like how much better you're getting, like what you're really trying to achieve. And at the same time, you know, loving like what you do and being able to go out and do what you do every single day and embrace that and just see yourself growing in that. So I think as a player, I've been successful in this league, but at the same time, I think I haven't even reach many dimensions that I can get into.
Right. You know, and you were saying how being traded isn't necessarily a good thing. It's not a good feeling, right? At the same time, when you move, though, you do build relationships with cities. You do develop certain relationships with teammates and places.
Yeah.
What are the positives, you know, the benefits of traveling and being in these different spaces and building these different relationships?
I've been able to, with myself and the team that's around me, has impact a lot of people in every single city that we've been in. And we've prided ourselves on that, of being able to, go into the communities and give back and embrace different kids and see kids come up that probably didn't have the inspiration before to do things that they may have thought were just unreachable to them.
Right.
I'll always be able to do that for the rest of my life. And I believe, and also while I'm in the NBA, be able to do that in every city that I've been in so far. And every city that we've been able to play in, we still have those type of relationships with. And, teams that we have played on still respect that to this day. So it's not just like, oh, you're traded. Like, we still do a lot of stuff in Detroit with community and kids. We do a lot of stuff in Orlando with mentorship and with church down there that I go to. So there's a lot of things that we're still connected to in all these cities that we, outside of basketball, when basketball's finished and things like that, those are things that, people always remember and that will never leave you.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that too, because as much as you invest in basketball and that's your life, you come to realize that it's way bigger than basketball,
for sure.
and that, like you said, it's something that can come and go, or it's fleeting. So in that too, the value of kind of planting your feet and having your imprint on different places ends up meaning a lot to you too, because the community service, those things exist after basketball is over with.
For sure.
What has been the biggest adjustment or biggest transition going from team to city that you've gone through?
Probably the rent prices. Because I was in Detroit, so I had like a good spot for a reasonable price, and then when I got out to LA, it was expensive. So, but like the cost of living is different in different cities. But I always say I'm going to keep myself on the level of where I know that I'm comfortable with, and not going to get like caught up in different lifestyles and things like that. So, but the cost of living in different spaces are different. Traffic is different. So you just kind of feel out the area. But LA has some really good, like, healthy restaurants for me, so I'm all in.
I think you see that too. You see people sign contracts with different teams, and you just see the dollar amount and the years, but you don't see the differences in where they have to play, like the cities,
for sure.
the states, all that, the lifestyle of the different places that they're in. So how do you actually go about then approaching a move then? Because if every place is so different, how do you actually prepare yourself and get yourself in the space to make the adjustment?
I think you just gotta be like focused on what's the most important thing. Like for me, I don't have like people living with me or family like that. So, different guys are different, because some guys get traded and they got their whole family. They got kids that have to be in school, so you have to find best school districts and things like that. But for me, it's just get me up and settled in a nice spot, in a good area that's pretty much low key, that I can, be able to just focus and stay right, and then just be ready to play. So it all depends on the individual.
Right. So where do you see yourself growing or evolving into now, being in LA, and like you said, like growing things to your game and challenging yourself? Like, where do you see the growth for you now?
Yeah, just obviously on the court, modifying different things I looked at through last year until now that I can get better on, and just trying to bring our, be more of a leader for our team, get the chemistry for our team to come along. We got a lot of young guys that are coming in, so being able to show them the ropes to the league, really, and just be an influence for them to understand. Like, I was in 19th pick in the draft, didn't play my first year, barely played in the, my second year, halfway point. So just trying to show them, like, you can really work your way into the player you want to be, with a lot of hard work, passion, and focus. But letting them know too, like, your window of opportunity is very, very short and slim. Like when I got traded to Orlando, everybody was like, "Oh wow, you going out there and you're killing." But like, it was good because I was blessed enough to have that type of opportunity. But who knows? If I didn't get that opportunity, who knows where I'd be? I may not even be in the league. Maybe guys wouldn't see what I could do. But as I said, the opportunity and the window of that opportunity is very slim. So when it does come, you got to be able to take advantage of it.
Yeah, that's something I don't think people talk about as much either. They think just because you're really good or you have a really good season, that there's no way you'll get traded or there's no way you'll get moved around. I think you see that all the time.
Well, sometimes in the game now, in the league, like, you could be a valuable asset to a different team. And on one team, you could be a guy that's kind of clogging up cap room. So, teams may look to go in a different direction, or you could be, just a guy that may not have worked out in one situation. Another team likes you and they invest in you. So, it's it's just the type of game, and it all goes off of how the team feels at the time.
Right. What do you feel like are the keys? Because you're talking about, you giving game to other people and letting people know as they come in. Your keys to being successful and having a lasting career in the league.
Well, first of all, you got to take care of your body. That's number one. And then I think you have to take, full advantage of your platform, because beyond basketball, that's like a key where you have a platform to influence many different people, different young kids. So really taking advantage of those two things first, and then you got to work your tail off every single day. These teams invest in players, and you have to invest back in yourself for that opportunity to really match. So, I would say those are the three things that can really help a player grow.
Right. And who have been some of the voices for you, or mentors, or people who've given you a lot of valuable advice for handling the league?
I came in the league to Milwaukee, so I had some good vets over there, and Drew Gooden was a good vet that gave me confidence in my game. Steven Jackson was another guy that was in my ear a lot as a rookie. Joe Prisbilla was another guy that always, just kept me like in the right mindset of understanding that if I wasn't getting playing time, just to be able to come in every single day and work. I mean, he was in like his, I think like 13th year, and he used to be coming in like the same time as me and working out. So like he just like showed me like, look, I'm in year 13, I'm not playing either, but you got to do this and things like that. So I had some really good like guys. When I got to Orlando, I was around Jameer Nelson. And I've had, even on teams where I I learned every single year from different guys. Like Anthony Tolliver is another good guy that I've been around. In LA, I was around DeAndre Jordan, and he was a very good veteran type guy, older guy than me. But I still look at guys who have been in the league for years ahead of me as like veteran type guys to still learn from, because they've been able to sustain themselves in this league for that amount of time. It's no surprise to that.
Right. And lastly, too, as we wrap this up, you mentioned being fortunate enough to have a support system. Your family have been able to make moves easier, transitions easier, having a good support system. For a lot of players who may not have that, or who may not, be able to make the transition that smooth, what would be your words to them to, help them handle that stress of having to move, or that, sudden, the spontaneity of it? Like, what would be your words to them?
Well, a lot goes into the game on and off the floor, but, I've been blessed to have two parents who raised me. If you go around the league, not many guys have two parents that have raised them all the way up. And it's amazing to see guys who haven't had that be able to make the league too, because I think that's a huge factor in, I know it was a huge factor in my growth. So anytime I know somebody in the league who got up in there with a single parent, or even with no parents around them, I have added respect to that, because I think that takes a lot of heart and grit to figure your way out in your life to get there. But I would say just your friends that you're around, really let them understand that you're a business So this is your business. So if they're around you and they support you, they have to have that same type of approach. That it's a business. Like, you know, you're a commodity. You're somebody who has a platform. Like, understand that that's your boy, but at the same time, like, they have to be able to support you in that aspect and understand that people are looking at them just the same way as kind of they look at you. I have that dialogue with a lot of my friends, and they get it. They understand that. And at the same time, I think, you know, you got to be able to really make sure I tell guys all the time, like, you hit the lotto by making the NBA. You know, you just never gonna. You may not get this opportunity again to make $1 million a year. You know, unless you're doing some, you know, really good stuff. You know what I'm saying? But like, understand that you know, let's just say you make $2 million. That $2 million is $1 million at the end of the year after taxes. And then if you go out and buy a car, you buy, you know, rent on a house, and you pay off all your bills, you know, at the end of the day, you know, you're pretty much sitting with maybe like $500K. So what you kind of do with that capital is on you. So get the right people around you to invest that type of capital the right way, to make sure you're learning where your money is, how to spend it, what do you need to buy, what you need and what you don't need. You know, one of my financial advisors, he told me this a long time ago. It's like, when you get into the league, don't spend like you're in the league. Spend like you used to spend when you were in college. And I took that mindset in, and I applied it like my first 2 years, and I was able, with that, is to build habits for where I'm at now. Whereas if I may have had the opposite approach to that, I may not have those habits now, as I have been able to get a bigger salary, which could have led to, you know, bad decisions. So I think the you know, having like those things I just said, and, you know, really protecting your capital and your money and what you've got, because we all play the game for the love, but we actually have the opportunity to be able to play this game and make a good living about it. So never let that opportunity pass.
Yeah, is it hard for you to maintain relationships, living that lifestyle and moving around? Like, and how do you communicate it? Obviously, you're close with your mother and your father, like your family, but your friends you've been around and things like that, like, how do you communicate to them and get them adjusted to the lifestyle?
I mean, everybody has kind of, around my team, has understood, like, it's not like this isn't a handout. You know what I mean? So everybody has kind of understood that, and, you know, has just, even from being in high school, has understood that's who I was, that's who, like, our family was, like, we're close boys, we're friends, but at the end of the day, like, they're there to support me as a basketball player and as an individual. If things come up, they let me know. If they see me in a way where they may have think like, oh, like, you don't really need that, you know what I mean? Like, I'll really take that advice, like, yeah, you're right, I don't need those shoes, you know what I mean? Like, so we have that type of relationship where it's like, you know, why we need to shop at Gucci if we could go shop at, you know, online and get stuff for, you know what I mean? Like, way cheaper. So we have that type of cheap approach, which is, you know, it's like, it's just how it is. But, like, that's how I am. Like, that's how they are as friends. And that's how, like, I've been able to be, you know, really conscious with my money and being able to set up things in the right spaces where I know when basketball ends, I'll be able to be fine.
Awesome. So it would be remiss if we didn't just say what your goals are for this season. Like, what do you set out to do as we wrap it up?
Well, okay, yeah. I mean, my goals this season is to, number one, be the best player that I can be, but at the same time, be the best teammate that I can be. You know, when I go into the summer and I look at goals, and I look at personal goals, I look at team goals, I look at our team. We missed the playoffs last year, and we were, you know, close to getting there. So, you know, I want to make the playoffs. That's a huge goal for me. I want to be more of a leader on our team. I want to improve in certain aspects that I'm working on this summer, and I just want to, you know, go out there and have fun playing with the guys that I'm with, and you know, be one of the best teammates that I can be. I try to pride myself on that, and helping different guys out, and being. I think when I'm the best teammate I can be, I'm the best player that I can be.
Absolutely. Thank you, man. I appreciate you sharing that for sure. Definitely want to thank Tobias Harris. Check him out this season with the Clippers. It's a City to City podcast powered by Move. I'm your host, Julian Mitchell.